Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Heather Holes. I have a 13-month-old son named Roland and an awesome husband named Tyler. And today I want to talk to you guys specifically about how to be a perfect mother. No, seriously, I want to talk to you about the pressures of being a mom, guys. The journey into parenthood is supposed to reflect this major milestone in people of increased happiness and joy, and studies are showing that it's actually quite the opposite. Moms today are showing way less joy in being a mom than what they used to way back when. So why are moms today showing less satisfaction? Most evidence today is pointing to the fact that moms feel like they have to be the perfect mother. And there is a plethora of social norms surrounding moms today, you guys. To be a good mom, you must be the primary caregiver for your child, be a stay-at-home mom, be a working mom, be a good wife, be the homemaker. Keep up with social norm acceptances such as how to discipline your child positively, the choice to sleep train or co-sleep, whether you should breastfeed or formula feed, even right down to how to birth your child. Wait, what? Families today come in all forms, and that doesn't necessarily put the mother as the primary caregiver anymore. It is true that moms have a special attachment to their babies, but did you know that this attachment isn't limited to just moms? Studies show that babies and children can develop attachment to any caregiver that provides primary care, not just the mom. So it's a little unfair that primary care falls solely on mothers nowadays. If you're a stay-at-home mom, society is going to say that maybe you should be out working because you need to provide for your family. And if you are a working mom, society might say that you should be home with your kids because that's the best option for them. And no matter which side you look at it, the pressures are still going to be there either way. And it's no wonder that moms today are reporting higher stress levels and self-doubt. When you have expectations like these and society pressures, it makes it really hard just to be a mom. So let's talk about some expectations. It may not necessarily be that you see people in public all the time who may mention something to you or give you advice on how to be a parent, or you're hearing these things like out in public. It's more so that you're seeing this online, and it's through social media accounts that it can get a little deceiving on what you're actually seeing. What we kind of tend to forget in our minds is that you're looking at people's highlights of their lives for the most part. You may have some people that don't post highlights, but you're seeing the highlights of people's lives and you're not seeing the full picture. And sometimes it's hard to get your brain to understand that. And so when you're constantly looking at all these feeds, subconsciously your brain is telling you that this is what this person's life's like, and maybe it seems like super perfect and happy, and that's your standard. Whether you really think that or not, it can kind of be subconsciously ingrained into your brain. So you have to be really careful when you're looking at these social media accounts for long periods of time. But just to be reminded of what you're seeing when you're on social media, that sometimes it can kind of change your mindset and make you feel like you have these even higher expectations that you need to meet. And that's not necessarily the case. So if we know the culprit to a lot of the social norm pressures that you feel as a mom, how do we lessen these pressures? The first thing that we can do that is a lot easier said than done is don't compare, you guys. We do it enough already in everyday scenarios of life, and we just don't need it in motherhood. We gotta stop comparing ourselves to other moms and other types of parents and if you're a dad, other dads, whatever it is, because each person is unique and everybody is individual and everybody has their own way of doing things. And just because your friend so-and-so does this with her child and it works out great, it doesn't mean that that's what you guys need to do with your family, because that's just what works for them. And we're all different people, and it is so easy to compare, especially as I mentioned with social media. When you're seeing a lot of happy posts, it's easy to think that these people are having a easy time in parenthood, and I guarantee you that everybody is struggling and we're all learning. So there's no need to feel pressured and no need to compare yourself. because what you do for your child may not work for their child. So we gotta stop comparing, you guys. We have to. The second thing I want to mention is learning to understand expectations. And I mean, what are the expectations that you hold yourself accountable for, like things that you have of yourself that might be good and healthy? And what are the expectations that you are holding to yourself that is pressures that you feel from society or other people around you? What really matters in the end is you and your mental health. And if you have overly high expectations of yourself because of these outside pressures, then we need to learn to recognize that. And it's okay to let some of those expectations go, because it is exactly what it is. And sometimes they're just overly high reaching things, you guys, that may not even be that important, but we hold ourselves accountable to it for whatever reason. And we just gotta learn to let those go. The third, and quite possibly one of my favorites, would be to learn to be open. And this is something I wish I could see so much more in the mom community. When we see people doing things differently than us, a lot of times we tend to be really judgmental. And I know that that is just kind of part of who we are as humans, and it may not be something you can necessarily correct completely because we just all naturally do it. But the ability to learn to be open to the differences that we have as humans and parents. So for an example, this was actually something that one of the topics somebody sent me that I personally dealt with too, and I want to address. But let's say we have a friend that decided to do sleep training with their child, and you totally disagree with that because you think it's terrible to sleep train because it's going to mentally scar their child, and you would never do that, and you decide to co-sleep because you don't want the separation. Whatever your reasoning may be, it doesn't matter. The differences doesn't really matter because you don't have to agree with somebody to be nice to somebody. Not everybody is going to agree. The fact that this is even a thing that people argue about blows my mind. I really encourage everybody to learn to be open and accepting that we are different people and that it's okay to have those differences and we can still get along. And the fourth thing that I want to mention to you guys would be embrace your natural intuition as a parent. I totally believe this is a thing. I think we all have this as parents. I won't say never, because it might, but usually does not lead you wrong. And I believe that you 100% know intuitively what is best for your child. I mean, you know your child, you love your child, you're the one who is around them and taking care of them. So why we feel pressured from anybody else to do things differently, I don't know. And no, the society pressure and social norm expectations may not ever go away, but I hope that these tips may help you guys to lift some of those off of your shoulders, because you guys are doing great and I believe in you and you're awesome. Don't forget it. If y'all feel like there was an area that wasn't addressed in this video, or if you have any questions, please feel free to leave some comments below. I would love to chat with some of you guys. I'm totally open to conversation and I'm not judgmental at all. So thank you so much for watching again, and I'll be talking to you guys soon.